I'd only covered about 100 yards from the vehicle when I came across these 4 or 5 does. And earlier there was a 4x4 buck. He was with them, but he worked his way up through this timber pretty quickly. And I could tell with the does following, they're going to go to the top of the ridge line. So my plan here is to work my way around to the top of Teanaway Ridge. I knew of an old overgrown logging road, so I started up the road to make my circle. And right about here, I had a couple of does take and sprint across the road, but I didn't have the camera on them. So I'm going to continue up this old road, which winds its way all the way around up to the top. And then hopefully I can cut off the deer. The temperature is changing. It's quite cool right now. It's still early morning. But I'm preparing for snow to start its arrival today. Here you can see the sky is getting darker. The temperature has really dropped. So I continue to work my way up this old logging road you can see there in the distance, and it's going to take me a couple hours to get to the top.
Nothing but the squirrels moving and chattering. 8:40 a.m. Tuesday. Teanaway, archery, late buck hunt.
It's a little after 10 o'clock in the morning now, and the snow's really starting to come down pretty heavily, and the clouds have moved into the top of the trees. And it looks like it's going to snow all day long today. With working my way to the top of Teanaway Ridge, this hunt's going to take me about a total of 7 hours. Through most of this hike, I haven't come across any fresh deer tracks, just old sign. I'll continue to work my way up.
(11 a.m. Tuesday. Late Teanaway archery buck. Snowing pretty heavily. Starting to accumulate on the ground. So far, no deer spotted. Just squirrels.
At the top of the ridge, I come across this big deer's bed. I think it's the buck's bed. Earlier, I saw the 4 or 5 does, and they went down here past this tree down to my left, but the buck didn't follow them. So I'm working my way along the top of the ridge, looking on both sides, not knowing which side that the buck might be. I just heard the does moving down through the trees there on my left, but the trees obscured the deer from the camera. I heard a sound behind me. I turn around to see a 2-point going the opposite way to the right. So I thought I'd take and try to get a cell phone pic of that 2-point. So I eased on over to the edge and took a look over. And instead, I ended up getting a picture of this nice 4x4 buck. I believe that's the buck I'd been after since the morning, and also the buck that had bedded down up there. He had scented me prior to me peeking over. As you could see in the image, he was scenting the wind, and he took off down through this timber pretty lickety-split. Here I'm looking down into the timber. I can hear him moving down below there through the trees. I never did see the small 2-point buck again. I'm going to continue down this finger ridge, one of my favorite little hunts. I'm going to continue down here a few hundred yards and hope that the buck tries to cross back over and join up with those does. It's quiet, it's cold, the temperature's in the low 20s, and as you can see, the clouds have lifted a little bit, but it's still snowing. It's just the perfect hunting conditions. And the wind's moving from my right to my left, but the thermals are below me now. Starting to realize at this point I probably blew my chance at a shot opportunity this day. But there'll be other days. Maybe I can find this buck again. The snow's making a little crunching noise, not because it's frozen, but rather because it's so soft and fresh, it's compacting underneath my boots with each step. Beautiful country. If you enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up icon, and to stay in touch for future new video releases to Mav's Outdoor Adventures, please click the red subscribe button. Thank you.